All right, we're back here at the motor now. I've already taken the cowling off. At the end of the video, I'll show it with the cowling on. It was just easier to do this to videotape everything for you. This is the dipstick, and this is also where you put the oil in. As you can see, I'm not going to pull the dipstick out on here because it's difficult to hold the camera and do this. But as you can see, it shows you where to put the oil in. Typically, you want to be at about that third bead from the bottom. On these motors, you don't want to overfill. As far as your oil, that's the oil you're going to use as well. And I did dog ear the page on your manual as well. All right, I'm going to show you the back of the motor. Nice thing that Mercury does is if you look on the back of the motor here, whenever you have the cowling off, they've got all the maintenance schedule, spark plugs, oil, all of that stuff is right here for you to see. They've got all the first year maintenance, which is considered the 100-hour maintenance, and then third year or 300 hours. Typically what they're looking at, yearly you're going to replace the oil and the lower unit oil as well. Every 3 years they recommend changing the impeller, spark plugs, low pressure fuel filter, and the accessory drive belt. There's not a lot on here that you'll have to do, but if you do your own maintenance, I wanted to show you where the fuel or the oil filter was, and this little yellow plug here is a drain because they know a little bit of oil is going to come out of that oil filter. As we come down to the front of the motor, this is the freshwater engine flush. And sorry, I had to pause there. Couldn't do it one-handed. This is the freshwater engine flush. If you boat in the river, this is mainly a saltwater thing that people think of for only saltwater, but if you boat in the river, I would recommend using this afterwards because it's also good to get the sand and silt out of your motor as well. So that's something that you can do. You just hook it up, run water through it. You don't have to run the motor on that, although you can as long as you keep it at idle only. I wanted to show you one other maintenance item back here. That's going to be your fuel filter or your water separating filter. As we move around to the side here, if you do your own maintenance, this is where the oil will be drained out. It's just a pitcock. You put a tube on there, turn the pitcock, it'll come off. As far as doing the lower unit, Mercury has put the drain plug in behind the prop. You have to remove the prop. They've done that because they want you to grease the prop shaft at least once a year as well. Those are going to be your maintenance items on the motor itself. I'm going to pause and then we'll jump back up and I'll show you how that cowl looks once you put that on. I know we started this video with the cowling off. It was just easier. There's a little door here that you push. That's going to allow you to get to where you check your oil. You don't have to take the whole cowling off to check the oil on these, which is super nice. Makes it a little easier to be able to do maintenance. Now if you do want to remove the cowling, you just push this button, pull that handle up, lift the cowling off. That's it on the motor. If you have any questions, you can definitely let us know. Got one more video to show you, and that's going to be on the bimini top. Actually, two more, the bimini top and the cover.